Hey, welcome back to another Netcast. I'm Rich Lopez, Quantrix Authority. Sincerely appreciate you joining me today for episode number 86, where I'm going to show you how to use an expression in a query. This is something I learned, I think, back when I started using Quantrix 2.8. This is one of the first things I learned. It was absolutely fantastic. Loved it and really fell in love with everything about Quantrix. This actually is a kind of in response to a question asked to me by a user of Quantrix at quantrixauthority@gmail.com. Encore wanted to know how you could kind of, query data into your model based off of a username. And that username could be volatile, of course. It could change based on the user. So how do you do that in Quantrix? Well, I want to kind of give you a piece to that puzzle, or maybe kind of give you the whole answer here. Encore, so I hope you find this useful. So first off, in Quantrix, please note that there is a way to return the username, and how you do that is by simply going out and say, let's say h2g1 was equal to $username, okay? And lo and behold, you will see that it returns R. Lopez. That's the username that I have set up for myself on this PC, or on this network, okay? R. Lopez. So that's kind of important that you use this $username. And then what you do is you go out here and say, if that data lives on a SQL server or an Oracle database, what you do is you go to data link, and you create a data link. And I'm going to kind of step through this really quick. It's JDBC, ODBC, and I've kind of got a save connection. And you just kind of step through it. And then what you do when you come to this is I always go to SQL. I think there's probably a way to use some of this stuff here. Not an expert on that because I know standard query language, so I like to just write my SQL statements out. So what I'm basically going to do is I'm going to go out here and I want to pull in from this, triple Z rich junk data table. I want to pull in everything actually, but I want to pull in only the records where the username equals R. Lopez, ignoring these other J. Smith Jr. records. Okay, just a really basic example. So this has got some good code in here. Of my SQL statement, and I'm going to take it and I'm going to paste it, okay? But I also need to add a where clause here, and this is going to kind of maybe look a little ugly, but it's just to show you. So I'm going to say where username, okay, is equal to, I'm going to put an expression in here. Expressions happen in curly braces in Quantrix, $username, okay? And I know from kind of this formula here that username ought to equal R. Lopez. Therefore, I go back to here. I should see just these two records come back and these other two records be ignored, okay, based off my username. So I go ahead and I click next. Oh boy, and it gives me some detail and it says invalid column name R. Lopez. I think what I need to do is actually add some ticks around to this because it is text. Okay, so that's good. And once I do that, bam, lo and behold, I get two records. I can bring that in as a multi-dimensional if I wanted. Right now I'm just going to bring it in as a two-dimensional, just going to make it down and dirty, if you will. And I'm going to blow that out every time. And then I get this data matrix, and I've got R. Lopez. If I were to change my username, or if a different user were to come in, say J. Smith Jr. were to come in and use this model, he could update the data link, and you know what you would expect to see? You would expect to see these two records associated with J. Smith Jr. Anyway, that's how you do it. Again, data link. I'll show you the edit data link. And I'll go out here to the custom SQL I put in, if you will, and I've put in username as an expression. Here, $username in curly braces. That's how you would pass a username in, and you could pull information just attributed to that username from a database. Anyway, Encore, I hope that helps you out. If you have any questions about Quantrix, feel free to reach out to me at quantrixauthority@gmail.com. Follow me here on YouTube, of course. Follow me on Twitter, and you can ask me a question on Skype, even if you'd like to, at Quantrix Authority on Skype. Anyway, I love Quantrix. Want to make you a Quantrix master. So please join me again for another episode of Quantrix Authority with Rich Lopez.